Hello YouTubers, welcome to another episode of Jimbo's Big Adventures. As you know, I love to fish piers. I love to fish bridges, seawalls, and from the beach. But the challenge has always been, how do I get all the gear I want to carry from my vehicle to my fishing spot? Okay, so today I'm going to show you how you can get all of this gear, up to 8 fishing rods, from your vehicle to your fishing spot using just one hand. All right, I'm going to show you today, step by step, how to build the ultimate fishing cart. You ready? Okay, let's go. All right, I started out with your standard grandma grocery cart. Okay, you buy them at Publix, you buy them anywhere online, they're about 40 bucks, and that's what you need. All right, first thing you do, take these stupid wheels off of there. They're too thin, they sink into the mud, the dirt, and everything else. They're garbage. Throw them away. All right. They have 2 little axles sticking out. You take bolt cutters, bing, bing, they're gone. All right. These wheels I got on eBay, they were like $40. You can use, I used a axle off an old kayak dolly. You can use a heavy piece of pipe. You can buy an axle online, 3/4 inch outside measurement when you do it. Now, everything that's attached to this cart is attached by wire ties. All right, so you want to get yourself a pack, a big pack like this, 250, all different sizes, thicknesses, lengths, and you'll have plenty to do what you need to do on here. Okay, now I want you to notice what I did here. I reinforced the bottom and the back with some thin sheet metal. All right, you get this at Home Depot, it's easy to cut, and you fit it in there. And what I did is I just drilled a hole on either side of one of these wire ribs, wire tie, boom, it's ready to go. And it makes it nice and solid. It gives it strength in the back. And you're gonna need that for these hinges when you build your top. Now the top, I just took a piece of plywood, scrap I had laying around, and I cut it to fit, put it on those hinges, and made it on top. Now, the reason I wanted, you don't have to have a top on it, but the reason I wanted a top on it is because when I'm fishing a seawall, the one thing I hate is having to kneel down, cutting my bait on the seawall or hooking up my lines or whatever like this. First off, I'm 69 years old, so kneeling down and getting back up 100 times in a night is way too much for me. So I wanted to have a cutting board on top. Now, I could have just went out, got a cutting board like this, drilled 4 holes in it, boom, screwed it to the top and been done with it. But me being me, it's got to be special. So here's what I did. Okay. What you see here is, first off, underneath, I got a piece of acrylic from Home Depot, little plastic acrylic, cut it to fit, and I screwed it onto the top of the plywood. Now, when you're working with acrylic, it will crack easy. So wherever you're going to put the screws, you need to gently drill a hole where those screws are going to go, so you're not drilling through the acrylic or it will crack. And then I took some 1/2-inch screws and some rubber washers, and I screwed it down, not real tight, but I screwed it down where it's not going to move. Then I went online and bought decals. These are window decals you put on your car. I had these made the way I like them, and I secured those down to the acrylic. If you try and put these on the wood, they're not going to stick, okay? So you got to have something underneath that'll stick, those can stick to. All right, then I went online. Now, here's another note, I just remembered. When you're putting these decals on, make sure that they're going to fit inside the cutting board you're buying. So if your cutting board is real narrow, you don't want it over the fish and over your name, okay? So make sure your decals are going to fit inside the cutting board. Now, I ordered this cutting board online. It's a scratch-resistant glass top cutting board. It's got little legs, some automotive weather stripping, and I stuck it around the edge like this, okay? And then I put some on the acrylic to give the center here strength. So if I put something heavy on top, it's not going to break this glass. So it's got a little strength. And you'll notice that this weather stripping is a little bit thicker than the legs on the cutting board. I wanted to make sure that it would touch. Then I took Gorilla Glue. Yes, Gorilla Glue works for everything, okay? Gorilla Glue around the bottom of the weather stripping, stuck it on top like this, let that dry. Then I took some clear adhesive caulk that you use on outside windows and put it all the way around the outside. I did that so I can waterproof this cutting board on top of the acrylic because I didn't want fish blood and everything else going in there and messing up my decals. So that's how I built this. It's a great cutting board. It's very strong. It's sitting on top of this cart and it's not going anywhere, and I can put stuff on top of it and I can cut up my bait. All right, the front again is a standard 4 holder. I've got a line cutter on and a knife sharpener on a keychain, retractable keychains. All right, now when you want to carry more than 4 rods, I went out and bought some 1.5 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. I cut it about 13.5, 14 inches, something like that. And on the bottom, I screwed a little piece of angle. You buy these, they're cheap, they come 4 in a pack. Little piece of angle, I screwed that on there and I bent it down. Now, what you do is if you look on the side of this cart, there's a loop of wire tie. You slide the pipe up the loop of wire tie like this, and you set that hook on the cross member leg here. And boom, it's not gonna move, it's not going anywhere. There's a little wire tie holding it up front. There's another rod holder on that side. And you do the same on this side. You slide the pipe in. You hook the hook onto the bottom, little wire tie holding it forward. Now you have 6 rod holders right up front if you need them. Okay, now if you look around back, I got this basket online, wire tied it to the back. Okay, here I have my knife sheaths for my bait knife and my fillet knife. And I got 2 more pieces of that PVC. It sits right there in case I want to bring 2 more rods, a net, anything else that'll fit in that hole, you can put in there. And then I have this little thing just holding them steady. Now what I did was I took 3 juice things. These are Ocean Spray juice bottles. Cut the tops off, wrap them in a clear black plastic to give them some strength. These babies fit right in here, and they hold a lot of stuff. You fill them things up with stuff you need. Now I want you to look at the handle real quick. First thing, we have a holder for cups, coffee, whatever. It expands, and you can just fit anything, thermos, anything in there. This loop is just a wire tie, Gorilla taped on, that you hook this carabiner on the front of your lid to if you need it to stay open, okay? And if you need it to stay closed, you put the carabiner on this loop, and that'll hold it closed if you have it loaded and you just laid it in the back of a truck. Everything won't come falling out. Now in the middle here, this is my hat holder. But if you're like me, you like to have a nice cigar when you're smoking. And what happens? You catch a fish, you got another one on the other line, you got a cigar in your mouth. What do you do with it? You can't lay it down on the ground. I hate that. It blows away, it gets wet and everything else. So bingo, cigar holder, fits right in there. I'm smoking, put it down, finish whatever I'm doing, pick it back up. Okay, now flashlight, working at night, but also get one of these little lanterns. All right, here's another carabiner, Gorilla taped it on there. This hangs here, you just pull it down, lights up. So at night when you're cutting bait or whatever, doing your tackle, you have light. Okay, the basics of this cart. Now I'm going to show you how to get all of this gear on here very easily. Ready? All right. Start in the back. Okay. You got a bait bucket. You need a net. Here's some WD-40. Trust me, you'll need it. Here's a fish grabber with a scale on it. All right, some fishing gloves. Hook sharpener. All right. For bigger fish you don't want to put your hands in, grab. Here's your pliers and your wire cutter. That fits in there. Scale. This is a luggage scale, up to 70 pounds. You fish in the pier. You want to know how heavy those fish are, you got that luggage right there. This is a long-handled hook remover. These are gold, all right? Make sure you get one of these. Little hole in the front of the rod holder in the front, slides down in there. It's right there when you need it, okay? Make sure you have some hand soap. Is that fish legal? I don't know. Have one of these in here. Make sure you have it so you don't get in trouble. Hand sanitizer in case you cut yourself, and of course sunblock. Don't forget the sunblock. Okay, and how long was that Barracuda you caught, well, you need one of these. All right, all fits in those little juice bottles. Nothing moves. Perfect, okay? And a couple towels with you. Like that. Boom. Just stick them on there and it's there. All right, whipping this baby around. Okay, big heavy tackle box. Tons of stuff in there. Lays right down in there. All right, make yourself one of these kits, okay? In this thing I have a first aid kit, Band-Aids, everything you could possibly need. Make sure you have this with you, okay? I've got Gorilla Tape, extra line, super glue, some extra tackle, Ziploc bags, big ones and little ones, extra pair of pliers, and rags, okay? You're gonna use this stuff. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna need it. You're gonna say, oh, I wish I had. Well, don't say I wish I had, make sure you bring it with you. Okay, listen to the old Boy Scout. Okay, that's, I want a good deal on tackle box. These are called Stackables. They're from Home Depot. They are $6 a piece. They hold tons of heavy tackle. They've got side locks and front locks, and you can stack them. You can put one underneath another and they all stick together. I take one of these with all my weights and everything. It goes in there. I'm not always opening and closing my tackle box. You're fishing a pier, you're fishing whatever, you need buckets, all right? One bucket to throw fish in, and you need a bait bucket for your little baits that you catch. All right, those both fit right in there like that. All right, you're up on the top of the pier and you need water for your buckets. How do you get it? Well, you take a coffee can, tie a rope to it, put a sinker on top, you drop it down in there, fill it up, pour it in the buckets. And there you go. Now, you catch a big fish, how do you get the big fish up from down way below? Well, you take one of these grappling hooks like this, hook it to the other end of the rope, drop that down, hook it into the fish, and pull it up. And I almost stabbed myself with it. Okay, and pull it up. Okay, that fits down in there. Now I have another bag, I didn't even bring it out here, that I keep my GoPro and my other gear and stuff in. That fits right there. Okay, now we close this down. All right, now we need our coolers. You need a cooler for food, you need a cooler for cold drinks, and you need a cooler for bait. So you get two of these size coolers, okay? They sit on there just like that. Take a bungee, up, around like that, boom. You're not going anywhere. Okay, now, see the clouds up there? It's getting cloudy, it's getting rainy. You're gonna need an umbrella. Come over here. Again, wire tie, make a loop, down on the bottom. Oops, down on the bottom, you see another little loop. This is supposed to be up front here. Little loop up front. You stick the umbrella down the big loop, put the tip in the little loop, and boom, it's there. Bait knife, fillet knife, they go in the sheaths that you've attached right there in the back of your basket. So they're handy, but out of the way. Now, what would you need this for? Okay, why would you bring this fishing? Well, if you fish at night like I do, sometimes you walk away from your gear, you walk away, or people coming to meet you, you're on the beach and there's 10 other guys there. You stick this in the ground next to you, and you can always find your setup wherever you are, pier, or the beach, or the seawall, or whatever. That slides in here right along with the umbrella. Boom, right down, nothing. Bring a chair. Oh, I don't need to sit down. Let me tell you, you're sitting there, you're standing there 8-9 hours. I also have an umbrella that hooks to the chair in case it's like 92 degrees like it is today, and I'm sweating to death. Well, you bring a chair. All right, like I said, this holds my cigars and it holds my hat. Boom, just like that. Now the fishing rod, okay? We're talking full size, one piece, ocean rods. On this cart. If you need to know what kind of ocean rods to bring, just look at these, because these are all perfect for what I do. So there's 6 rods right there. If you you want to bring 2 more, you just stick them in the back here like that and like that. All right, and that's it. That is the ultimate fishing cart. Look, it rolls with 1 finger. It's very easy to maneuver. It turns very easy. You push it when you're on the beach or something heavy, you just tip it down, roll it on the big wheels. It rolls perfectly. You get everything on that you could possibly need to go fishing from your vehicle to your fishing spot. 1 hand, 1 cart. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Jimbo's Big Adventures. Join us again when I show you some odds on my kayak and other things I've done. Hit the like button below and we'll see you next time. Subscribe to my station. That would be really nice. All right, God bless you all. See you next time. Bye-bye. Just a couple more things I want to mention. As you saw in the beginning of my video, when my cart is unloaded, it lays flat. Now what that means is you don't have to have a pickup truck or an SUV to get all your gear to your fishing spot, okay? My cart will fit in the back seat of any car. You get your gear in there any which way you can, and then off you go. A second thing is, make a checklist, okay? There's nothing worse than getting to where you're going and going, crap, I forgot my ... whatever the heck it is, all right? I make checklists for everything I do. Let me show you. All right, here's the checklist I have when I go fishing at the pier. Okay, this is all the stuff that goes on that pier cart. If you want to pause the video, take a screenshot, it'll be like a template for you to use. Okay, I have checklists for everything. This is when I go fishing on my boat. I have a checklist for when I go play golf. I have checklists when I go to the range so I don't forget anything. I can't tell you how many times that has saved my day. So when you're ready to go somewhere, make sure you have a checklist. I have them when I travel, especially when I go out to my hunt camp, because it's in the middle of the swamp and there's not a whole lot of stores out there, okay? Okay, there you go.